Good afternoon. My name is Ricardo López-Aranda. I am Ambassador of Spain to Ukraine. I'm honored to be giving these concluding remarks in the conference on Russia's invasion to Ukraine, organized by the European Policy Center and the US mission to the European Union. I want to structure my intervention around three concepts: uncertainty, determination, and unity. With regard to uncertainty, I can give you a first-hand example, which is I would have wanted to give this intervention live, but I've been forced to do it in a recorded way for reasons you probably know by now. And but it's also a feature of our day-to-day life with air alerts and power cuts. But this uncertainty goes beyond Kyiv and even beyond Ukraine. There are tectonic changes in the international politics happening now, and we don't know exactly how things are going to evolve. We do know, though, that what happens in Ukraine is critical for the future beyond Ukraine, and that it, in a way, it signals how power politics and international relations are going to be in the future, whether they're going to be marked by the rule of law and international law, or whether we're going to have a more anarchic world and a world marked by power beyond law. The second point I wanted to make is around determination. Even in these circumstances of uncertainty, we've seen the strong determination of the Ukrainian people not to let Russia hinder their territorial integrity and their sovereignty, and indeed their democracy. And we have to pay tribute to this determination they have shown. And indeed we have responded to this determination with our own determination, with the determination of the European Union, of NATO, and the transatlantic determination to help Ukraine to defend itself against this aggression. And I would say it's a determination that goes beyond these Western countries. It is also exemplified in the work that the G7 is doing, but beyond also the G7, it's exemplified in the reaction that the General Assembly of the UN had at the beginning of the aggression, with a very wide response by the international community, and we hope to see a similar response after 1 year in the General Assembly resolution that is being discussed at the moment. So this is an element which is crucial, that we are determined and that we continue to be determined in responding to this aggression. I would say that every time there is an attack on civilians, like there has been in Dnipro some weeks ago, every time we discover a mass grave, like has been the case, for instance, in Izium or in Bucha, every time those things happen, our determination grows. And our determination to see international law to be respected and to have these criminal facts brought to justice, so that we don't shift, as I said before, into a world dominated by power politics and separated or departing from core principles of human rights and respect of international law. This determination, of course, can only be strong and solid if it's based on unity, and that brings me to my third point. And I want to remind ourselves how we came to the determination we are showing now collectively. I want to remind ourselves that at the beginning of the crisis, we were wondering if this invasion was going to take place, and we had a thorough discussion initiated by the US administration on what to do in response. And by and large, the determination we have shown after that has been based on the fact that we've been able to discuss how to react together, exchanging positions, understanding each other's points of depart, and that has been the base for the effectiveness of our action. I think that this determination and this effectiveness wouldn't have happened if we hadn't been united, and we wouldn't have been united if we hadn't had this discussion, this deep discussion between us that we had from the beginning, both at the transatlantic level and within the European Union. So I would like to underline the fact that beyond the differences that sometimes we have and that we have all the time, because this is the nature of international relations, to exchange opinions and points of view. Beyond those differences, what is essential for the success of our action is that we have been able to discuss and then to agree common steps. And I think we have to value this attitude, this methodology of being able to discuss in order to offer a common response to challenges that we face. This is a lesson that I think is very important for Ukraine, but goes beyond Ukraine. In a world that I mentioned is marked by uncertainty, we will have to have resort to this method, or probably also in the future. And we will be better prepared to react to whatever might come if we keep this attitude of having a conversation and having and not being ashamed of having differences, if at the end of the day we arrive to a common position. I think this is a crucial lesson learned for the future. And that brings me to a point that I also wanted to make, which is what to expect of the Spanish presidency of the European Union. Well, you would be surprised if I say that after what I've just mentioned, that one of the key elements of our attitude as the Spanish presidency is going to be to preserve this unity. This unity is the base of our strength, and therefore Spain is going to work to preserve it in this area and other areas. We have already an experience as presidency of the European Union. It's the 5th time we're going to assume that role, and we know what it entails. It entails to try to convince and to make all different positions to steer them in the same direction, so we offer a common response. This is important in every dimension, but it is even more important in the situation we are now, and even more important with regard to our response to the aggression against Ukraine. So that is going to be the main purpose and the main feature of the Spanish presidency of the European Union. And another factor, I think, which is we have to note, and which is a reality, is that collectively we have made a strong signal to grant Ukraine candidate status to the European Union. That means its future lies within the European Union, and what we are going to do is to try to help Ukraine to reach that goal as quick as possible. As the Spanish Foreign Affairs Minister said yesterday in the Foreign Affairs Commission of the Spanish Parliament, Spain will continue working to offer a real European perspective to Ukraine. So this is going to be also one of the main ideas, the thrust of our attitude towards to Ukraine during our presidency. Finally, I wanted to commend this initiative, this conference, for taking place. It is important that think tanks do their role of sensitizing civil society on what's happening in Ukraine, that we don't lose sight of the ball, of the importance of being united, of reacting collectively to what's happening. And in that respect, the role of think tanks is essential. Not only in discussing the different subjects that you have discussed today, but also in producing ideas that might help us to create around them this unity that I think is so important. So let me thank you very much, commend you for your work, encourage you to continue, and thank you for your attention. Thank you.